I feel like the logo has regressed a bit. It looks a little bit more 2D than what we saw in Police Quest 3. Okay, this is Police Quest Open Season. This is a blind playthrough. I've never actually played this game. The most that I know about it is that we are a new character. We're playing as John Carey, rather than Jim Walls' adopted son, Sonny Bonds. We're a homicide detective, and that's really it. I saw some screenshots and some text about this in a magazine back in the day, but that really is it. I'm going into this blind. Just before I hit instructions and then introduction, let's take a very quick look at the manual. And yeah. Clearly this game is very, very, very different from what we've been playing previously. I don't really know what to expect here. I think a large part of this has been driven by the fact that Jim Walls, who was a traffic officer for 15 years, I believe, is no longer working on this series. He and Sierra split for unknown reasons during the developments of Police Quest 3. He was still credited for it, but he is not involved. Instead, we have a new police officer involved. His name is Chief Darrell F. Gates, and I've got to admit, I don't know anything about him. So let me just look him up on the internet right now. Oh, he's got a pretty hefty Wikipedia page. Damn, that is a lot of text. All right, I'm not reading all that. Died in 2010, American police officer who served as chief of the Los Angeles Police Department. Okay, that's a pretty hefty guess. Gates is credited with the creation of SWAT. Oh. Well, that seems okay. Maybe that's going to set the tone for this sort of playthrough, or the game rather. After the arrest of Rodney King and the subsequent riots, Gates retired from the LAPD. Much of the blame for the riots was attributed to... For fuck's sake, Sierra! Alright, look. I will play through this game. God forbid, I might even enjoy it. But given this guy's past, why would you want him associated with your video games? I really don't know what to expect now. I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, or astounded, or I'm going to be fucking shocked if this isn't 6 hours of propaganda, because looking further, this happened after he retired, so I don't know whether this was his attempt at making a comeback, trying to reform his image, or whether he just said, yeah, you can put my name on a game and be done with it. I have no idea. But my god, why would you get this asshole involved with your video game? Oh boy. Alright, let's click the instructions button here. I've made a terrible mistake. This is actually the same as what we saw in Space Quest 5 back in the day. That is instructions on how to get a refund. If you're watching this on YouTube, unfortunately, I can't help you. You're going to have to contact Google. Alright, so let's click intro, and then we need to talk about something else which is going to hamper this playthrough. How does a helicopter turn into a badge? Monday, 3:30 a.m., South Central, Los Angeles.
John, let me warn you. It's bad. Real bad. It's Hickman.
Hickman? Bob Hickman?
He's been badly mutilated, John. Tortured, really.
My God, Sam. Has Bob's wife, Catherine, been informed?
When the call came in, I was told Hickman's captain was headed to their house. They have a little girl, don't they?
Yeah, Valerie. Her name is Valerie.
Look, John, I know you and Bob went back a long way.
A long way? Hell, Sam, Bob and I went through the academy together. We We shared a ride for 5 years. I'm that little girl's godfather. Sam, Bob was my best friend. Yeah, you could say we went back a long way.
I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. Sorry the city is so full of dirtbags, creeps, and losers. Bob was a great guy, Sam. A great cop. Who the hell would do this to him? What the hell was he doing out there?
I don't know, John. It's your job to find out. My job is to pick up the body and find the cause of death.
I think I can hear Daryl speaking to me already. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're playing a new character, John Carey, and we're not in Lisbon anymore. We're actually in Los Angeles. I believe these are all the changes that were implemented by Daryl and all the writing team behind this game. So here's the problem, as you've probably seen already.
Detective John Carey, major crimes, homicide.
We are Detective John Carey. What was it? Major crimes, homicide?
Detective John Carey, major crimes, homicide.
As you can see, there's no subtitles. Now, I've seen down here that I can turn the subtitles on, like so. But the problem with that is... that is unvoiced. Now, from what I understand, there's quite a few Sierra games that were like this. Space Quest 4 was like this, but some very clever person found a way of lining up the speech and the text together, and they made a patch for it. And whoever you are, bless you, because that saved that playthrough. It really did. But this game, I've got a choice of one or the other, and based on all of the reading that I've done on the previous games and how difficult it was to record, I'm going to put the speech on today. That means that I'm going to need to be super quiet when anyone is speaking, and I'm probably going to need to take notes because I don't know about you, but I often have trouble hearing things. No, I'm not an old man, yes, but I like seeing subtitles as well, and it's super unfortunate that we don't get both. There are definitely some other games which are also going to have these problems. I know King's Quest V has this problem, possibly King's Quest VI. I'm not sure about Quest for Glory. So yeah, what sort of interface do we have here? Walk, look, those are all exactly the same. I assume this is our inventory icon, or the object that we're holding. That is our inventory proper. Don't know what this is. Also don't know what that is. Select the toggle icon to lock the icon bar in a visible position. I think I'll turn that on because that just looks stupid down there. It says Police Quest. I've got to move down here to make them appear. Let's click that.
Yes, sir.
Ah, it's a map icon. Select the map icon to display the map of Los Angeles. Okay. Let's see what we're carrying.
It's your wallet. Spare change.
Why is the spare change not in the wallet?
It's your Beretta 92F.
Is it spelt with an A or an E?
These are your car, office, and home keys. Loaded and ready for action. Department-issued handcuffs. Your badge is a symbol of your commitment and your identification.
I did write down the number that showed up in that, whatever the hell that intro was, and yeah, it was 612, so we are Officer 612 perhaps.
Your department-issued memorandum book and pencil. Your department...
I can't look at the internal contents of that.
It's your Parker Center It's your Parker Center identification badge.
Sorry about that, that's just Parkinson's kicking in. Okay, so we can touch each one of these objects? Or select them like that, which I assume is going to put it down there. Yep, okay. What can I do with this stuff?
The leather is well worn.
We can feel it.
The coins jingle in your hand. The grip on the Beretta is a fine fit for your hand. Numerous keys are indicative of a complicated and busy life.
I won't disagree with that.
The cuffs are cold to the touch. With a full 15, the clip must weigh approximately 12 ounces.
Okay, again, I can hear Daryl speaking to me now.
The shiny metal is cold in your hand. The simulated leather notebook is well worn. It's laminated.
Okay, cool. Let's make a save. Not playing a Scum VM today. Can we shoot the body?
The man is dead. Have some respect.
Okay, good job, gang. Good job. What about this guy? He looks scary.
Detective, he might appear to have an attitude, but that's not criminal. This is an innocent bystander. Holster your weapon. This is an innocent... Detective, he might appear to have an attitude, but that's not criminal.
Jesus, game.
Yes, sir.
The Beretta 92F is a fine firearm, isn't it, sir?
I'm not trying to show you and get your opinion on us. I'm trying to shoot you.
Is this some kind of macho thing? Back off, Detective. I have marksman status at the range.
Good response.
Carrie, holster your weapon. The situation is charged enough.
Alright, fine. Who have we got around here? Well, let's take a look around first.
The sun will soon be rising.
Yeah, it's 3:30 a.m.
Many businesses back up to this alley, Detective. Yep, signage is important to a prosperous business. Graffiti mars the neighborhood. The back alley to the Lucky Mini Mart. It doesn't look so lucky now.
Lucky Minimas.
It's your car, Carrie, a 1993 T-Bird.
1993 T-Bird. Nice. Oh, this guy just walked off. This guy just walked off. Okay, let me restore that.
Carrie, the man appears intoxicated and a bit agitated.
Okay, we need to talk to him now.
Sir, did you see any unusual activity or unfamiliar cars in the neighborhood?
I hear shots. Fast. Like pop, 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 pop.
You heard gunshots.
What time might you have heard these shots, sir?
It pop, 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 pop. And I just hear them shots. I was scared.
Any other information you could give me, sir?
Pop, pop, pop. I know this sound. It's killing the children.
Any other information?
Pop, pop, pop. I know this sound. It's killing the children.
And it can kill adults as well. So he heard gunshots, but he doesn't know what time they occurred. Who have we got around here?
It's Officer Malcolm Allen, LAPD.
I just want to write down some of these names. Malcolm Allen.
It's Chester, Julie Chester, criminalist SID.
I believe one of these was Sam.
It's Officer Bruce Woody Woodbury, LAPD.
I don't know if these are important characters or not, so I'm just writing down their names.
It's Sam Nobles, Deputy Coroner, Los Angeles County.
Deputy Coroner. We don't have Leon and his sick sense of humor today. Alright, let's have a chat to them before we take a look at the body.
Officer Woodbury, I'm taking over as lead investigator.
Yes, sir, Detective Carey. I have my crime scene log for you.
Oh, he just gave us something. So he is an investigator and we're taking over his role.
Alley crime scene log prepared by Officer Woodbury.
Okay, great. Do you want to tell me anything about that?
Standard weight paper.
Jesus, game. Can I combine that with our notebook, perhaps?
Those two items don't go together.
I think we'll be hearing that a lot. Okay, I've got his reports. Malcolm.
I'll be stepping in as lead investigator, officer. Can you tell me what the situation was when you got here?
Yes, sir. Woodbury and I were on our regular patrol. We spotted the body as we drove by. We radioed in, then moved in on the scene. We checked the alley for possible assailants, but found no one. Everything is pretty much as it was when we arrived.
Okay, so the scene is not being disturbed. I'm wrong. He's an officer, and he's an officer as well. They were just patrolling.
That's it?
Yes, sir. The body was just lying there. I didn't know him, but Woody told me that the deceased was a cop. Undercover guy working the neighborhood. Oh, Hickman or something like that.
It's Hickman, and yes, he was working the crash unit, although I didn't know he was working this neighborhood. You've never seen him before, and this is your regular district?
Yes, sir, that is correct. I've never seen him before.
That mention of crash, I won't get into that.
Is there anything else you can tell me?
Okay, so another problem that I've got with this game, I had to do a load there because there's actually no feedback to tell you that people have stopped talking. If you go back about 10 seconds and look to see when he stopped talking, nothing changed about the icons, so I inadvertently clicked the mouse earlier and skipped a line. Oh boy. So Malcolm was driving, you both found the body, you sealed the area.
Is there anything else you can tell me, Officer Woodbury?
No. We rolled by, saw the body, radioed it in. There was no one in the alley besides the body. The neighbors came out once we set up the perimeter. It was quiet when we got here.
I assume the neighbours have gone back to bed.
Is there anything else you can tell me, Officer Woodbury?
No. We rolled by, saw...
Heard that. Sir, do you have any useful information for me?
This young man appears interested in the alley proceedings.
I'm Detective Carey, Major Crimes, Homicide, LAPD. I'd like to ask you a question or two.
Whatever, man. I'm just hanging.
Let's start with your name. What is it, and do you live in the neighborhood, or are you just visiting?
Man, this be my hood. I be Raymond Jones III.
Raymond Jones III.
Well, Raymond, if this is your neighborhood, then you must know what goes on around here. What happened here tonight? You see anything unusual? Maybe a different car, or some folks from another neighborhood?
Ain't seen nor heard nothing. Just out for some fresh L.A. air.
The other witness heard gunshots though.
So, Mr. Jones, what you're telling me is you don't have anything to tell me. Is that correct?
That's straight up. Ain't seen nothing, done nothing, know nothing.
If he did it, I'm just going to throw this game in the trash.
So, Mr. Jones, what you're telling me is you don't have anything...
That's straight...
Alright, let's have a chat to Julia, and then the coroner.
It's Chester.
Hello, Chester. Thanks for coming out.
Sure, Detective. This is one horrible night when one of our own goes down. I'm glad to be of service. Let me know when you want photos.
I'd love photos. She came out. These two were on patrol, and she came afterwards.
Standing by, Detective Carey, ready to collect samples or evidence if needed. You haven't properly marked or notated any evidence, Detective. Let me know when you have.
Okay, maybe she's Junior Homicide, or my partner perhaps?
Standing by, Detective Carey, ready to collect samples or evidence if needed.
That dumpster looks sus.
You haven't properly marked or notated any evidence, Detective. Let me know when you have.
Yeah, so I clicked the first time after she said that sentence, and then the next one played. That time I didn't click, and then it played, so... oh god. I've got a feeling I'm going to skip a lot of dialogue inadvertently here. Sam.
It's Sam.
Sam, do you have a preliminary finding on Hickman's cause of death?
It's hard to say, John. There are no evident bullet wounds. There are cervical contusions, possibly asphyxiation. There's no unusual sputum, so it's difficult to think poisoning, but I'm not ruling anything out. Whoever did this was definitely non-compos mentis. By the way, notice that the index finger on the right hand is missing.
I understood some of those words. The other dude heard gunshots though, but he hasn't died of gunshot wounds apparently.
What else can you tell me, Sam?
Until we autopsy, we won't know much more. To make any further comments would be pure conjecture on my part.
In that case, don't say anything.
What else can you tell me?
Until we autopsy...
This dumpster looks sus.
It's the lucky mini-mart dumpster.
That would be a great place to hide evidence.
body of a young boy lies strewn in the dumpster.
Jesus fuck. So let me get this straight. There's at least 4 people standing around here, and they didn't know this body was here?
John, have you found something? John, have you found something?
Can we talk about that later? I'd like to explore this body
John,
first.
have you found something?
Let's look at Hickman first. Bob Hickman.
The tortured and tormented body of Bob Hickman, LAPD, lies lifeless among the alley debris. An obvious case of felonious homicide.
Yeah, look at his neck and look at his chest. His gun's missing.
An empty holster can mean only one thing: another gun on the street. A gruesome sight. Contusions and burn marks appear on Hickman's abused body.
Contusions and burn marks.
A gruesome sight. A gruesome. A gruesome. A
I'd like to look at his right hand. Alright, can I search his pants?
Detective Carey, have you found evidence you need recorded? Detective Carey...
Careful, Carey. There could be fingerprints on that holster.
Detective Carey... Detective...
Alright, that is clearly evidence.
A lipstick-stained cigarette lies near Hickman's body.
Lipstick? Alright, am I potentially destroying evidence? Do I need to take notes, maybe?
Noting that a cigarette lay near the body could prove important later.
That was worth points. I heard the little jingle. It's very hard to hear, though.
An empty holster recording information at the crime scene ensures accurate reports later. Detective, this information is already recorded. Detective, an... A gruesome...
Can I give that to you?
Detective, the criminalist's presence need not be officially notated.
She's a criminalist. Okay, well I found some evidence there. Also, there's a body in there.
It looks like it's gonna be a busy night for you, Chester.
Unfortunately, our streets are being taken over by violence. Innocent people being killed. It's uncivilized, sir. Standing by, Detective Carey, ready to collect samples or evidence if needed.
Again, click through that second one.
Your department issued memorandum book and pencil. The simulated
We've heard that. We've recorded the evidence there, but I'm not sure how to grab the evidence.
Detective, I believe that is yours. I have my own paperwork to do.
Can I use it on myself?
Upon review, you realize this is the crime scene log prepared by Officer Woodbury.
He already told us that. What if I use that on myself?
What is it about yourself you wish to notate?
That I'm a terrible person and that I'm terrible at video games. Alright, let's take a look at this second body. I was expecting there to be some evidence in here, not a fucking...
The body of a young boy lies strewn in the dumpster.
Body of a young boy.
Bullet wounds puncture the boy's body. He looks no more than 6 or 7 years of age.
Jesus. How old is this body?
Bullet wounds. He looks no more than... Bullet... He look... Bullet... He look... Bullet... He looks... He look... Bullet... He looks...
John, have you found something? John, have you... John, have you... John...
Nobles! Chester! We have another body! Nobles! Chester! Nobles! Chester! We have another body!
John...
Recording information at the crime scene ensures accurate reports later.
I don't think there's anything else I need to do here. Can I shoot him?
Hold your fire. Get a grip. Hold your fire.
Chester, take over on the evidence.
Yes, Detective.
Okay, so it needs to find and report the second body to get her into action.
Standing by, Detective Carey, ready to collect samples or evidence if needed. You haven't properly marked or notated any evidence, Detective. Let me know when you have.
Really?
Sam, we're gonna need another ambulance. There's a body of a young boy in the dumpster.
We'll get another car here, John.
He's just a child, Sam. What's happening on our streets?
It's a sad state of affairs, John. It's situations like this, a child victimized by violence, that makes it tough to do this job.
Indeed, I think the only solution is more police officers and more SWAT and more guns.
What else can you tell me, Sam?
Until we autopsy, we won't know much more. To make any further...
We've heard that one. Let me try interacting with my car. Is there a kit in the back here?
Detective, your car trunk is locked.
Well, unlock it then. There we go. Oh, that is a very messy boot.
Carey, your trunk carries the tools of your trade. It's police banner tape used at crime scenes for setting up a perimeter.
You could have fooled me. That just looks like a... I don't even know what that looks like. That definitely doesn't look like a roll of tape.
These are 12-gauge double-aught buckshot shells.
Oh shit, that's a shotgun.
Carey, your trunk... Use of force to this degree is unnecessary at this time, Carey.
But I'm sure it'll be necessary later.
It's your homicide kit. It's your... Carey, your trunk carry...
Alright, let's open you up. Or not, we'll just remove the entire thing.
Detective...
What was that?
Detective, what are you searching for?
Meaning. Right, we have a homicide case.
It's your department-issued homicide kit.
Ooh. That's as complex as the one in Police Quest 2.
The baggies hold evidence found at crime scenes.
I don't even know what that is.
24-inch pry bar. Very handy.
I thought it might have been a crowbar, but it's the wrong shape. No, that's a pry bar.
The jar is used to collect samples when SID is not called for.
Not sure what SID stands for.
Rubber gloves used against infection or contamination.
Flashlight?
Department-issued 9-volt anodized aluminum flashlights.
Chalk?
Chalk. Made in the USA.
Feel like chanting now. Scraper?
The putty knife is made in the USA.
Hussy knife.
The plastic is slippery. The pry bar is heavy for such a small tool.
It's 24 inches. I wouldn't call that small.
Empty glass jar is lightweight. The rubber feels quite thin on these gloves. The flashlight's weight makes it more than an illumination device. The chalk feels so chalky.
Was it 9 inches?
Department-issued 9-volt anodized aluminum flashlights.
No, 9 volts, not 9 inches. If it was 9 inches, then maybe you could use that as a weapon, perhaps.
The putty knife is solidly made.
Alright, clearly we need to collect some evidence from this dude.
The torture...
And it looks like I have to open the kits, and then maybe do something like this.
Let Chester from SID handle any possible evidence.
Okay. Apparently this is your job.
Detective, I carry my own supplies, but thank you.
Oof. What do you want me to do here?
Standing by. You haven't...
Officer Woodbury, when we're finished here, I want the neighborhood canvassed to see if anyone's missing a child, but has not reported it yet.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you can tell me, Officer Woodbury?
No. We rolled by, saw the body.
Heard that.
Officer, I want you to notify Detective Headquarters and Communications we've discovered another homicide. Approximate age, 6 years, apparent victim of gunshot wounds. Have Detective Headquarters run a search on children reported missing, matching this child's description.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not quite sure what to do now. We're being told to collect evidence. She's
Standing
saying
by,
we haven't
Detective
notated
Carey,
it.
ready to collect samples or evidence if needed. You haven't properly marked or notated any evidence, Detective. Let me know when you have.
That's my goal, I assume, to properly mark or notate evidence.
Detective, the criminalist's presence need not be officially notated.
What about the coroner?
Nobles will write up his own report for his supervisors. The tortured...
What am I missing here?
A lipstick-stained cigarette lies near Hickman's body.
Can I pick it up?
Carey, the cigarette could be evidence. Handling it would show poor judgment.
Detective Carey, have you found evidence you need recorded? Detective Carey... Detect... 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 Detect...
A gruesome... Detective, you need not handle the cigarette. SID will take care of it. You don't need those, Carey. You're not to touch the body. You don't need...
We're not to touch the body.
The report is about Hickman, not for Hickman, Detective.
I don't know about this.
Detective, this information is already recorded.
I've recorded a lot of information about his body already.
Detective, this...
I've got the cigarettes.
An empty holster can mean only one thing.
I can't record the gun missing.
An empty... Detective...
I don't believe there's any more I can do with this body either. That music sting. Jesus Christ.
Detective, this information is... Detect... Bullet wound. He looks...
This is all just one generic screen, and I do note that we have the talk icon here, and that's what I used earlier. We didn't have that on the previous screen.
Nobles, Chester, we have another body. Nobles.
What am I doing here? Can I walk down the alley, perhaps? Into a new screen. No.
Detective Carey, have you found evidence you need recorded?
Yes, I've seen a cigarette.
Detective Carey... Standing by.
But I'm not sure how to tell you that I found a cigarette.
Many businesses back up to this... Alleys can be great sources of hidden treasure, Detective. No treasure here. No treasure here.
And you've said that, I've got to look now, don't I?
This mess would be better off left alone. Your car doesn't need a spare. Besides, it looks like a retread.
Yeah, I think the only treasure we found was inside that dumpster.
Disturbing evidence now can result in a mistrial later.
What am I doing here? I found the homicide kit, and that's great. But what do I do with it?
Hey, you're wasting batteries. There's enough light in the alley in which to see by.
At 3:30 a.m. in the morning? The thing is, we're being told not to... okay, hang on. There we go. Jesus.
Chalking the dumpster is unnecessary, Carey.
I would think that marking on the side for perhaps would be useful, but...
The tortured and tormented...
There we go.
Detective, this cigarette could be evidence.
Alright, are we done?
Chester, take over on the evidence.
Yes, Detective.
That was an ordeal.
Excuse me, sir. With all due respect, I would like to point out the wall graffiti. From my daily patrols, I have come to recognize that symbol as a local gang symbol. It might be important. It might be worth notating.
All right, I will take your advice on it, Mr. Who was it? Looking at my notes. Mr. Allen? Malcolm Allen?
The crime scene log is to be...
That's not the notebook.
Graffiti is often left behind by gangs. Recording the symbol could prove useful.
Because of course it could.
Graffiti mars the neighborhood. Graffiti...
All right, are you done, Chester?
Chester, take over on the evidence.
Yes, Detective. Whenever you're ready, fellas. I'm finished.
Who are you? Must be mate of the coroner's.
John, we can handle it from here. Stop by tomorrow for the autopsy. We'll know more then.
Monday, 5:30 a.m., Parker Center, Los Angeles, California. That was surprisingly well animated.
Harry Hickman's death isn't just your personal tragedy. It's a tragedy for the entire force. We've lost a friend, a father, and one damn good cop. As you know, you've been assigned the lead investigator on this case, and I'm going to be looking to you for answers. I'm going to ask you to put aside your personal feelings and deal with this investigation in a professional manner. If you don't think you're up to it, I want to know now. Neither you, the public, nor the department can withstand not knowing the truth. I want you to comb that neighborhood. I want every rock turned over and every person interviewed. Remember, Hickman was not the only fatality tonight. The family of that boy is grieving also.
Yes, sir.
For your information, the boy has been identified as Bobby Washington. As for Hickman, I think there is something you should know. Maybe you already do. But here it is straight. Hickman's lieutenant, Jim Varaz, informed me that Hickman was having trouble with stress, trouble at home. Varaz told me that Hickman had been in a fragile mindset, that working undercover was getting to him. You know, the violence of the streets can get to anyone. Now, I'm not knocking Hickman. I just want you to know how the department viewed his current capacity. Okay, Carey, you know what you need to do. Go out there and do it. Find who killed Hickman. Find who killed the Washington youth. Any questions?
No, Lieutenant.
All right, then. Get to work. And, Carey, when you see Catherine, please extend my deepest sympathies.
I think we just magically increased in height by a couple of inches when we got up off that chair. Alright, there was a lot there. So the kid's name is Bobby Washington. I've written that down. I can't help but notice that Bob Hickman and Bobby Washington have both the same first name. We've got to go talk to Catherine and possibly Valerie to let them know what's happened. I didn't quite catch that last dude's name. Jim Varas? Superior? Bob was working undercover and was having a rough time. I don't see how that plays out into anything, though.
Go on now, go. Find yourself a killer.
I mean, I've got a question. What's your name?
Lieutenant Donald Block, career man, your boss.
Donald Block.
The office of Lieutenant Block, Someday, you too might make lieutenant and be issued an office carry.
Well, I think we've finished here, Carrie. Stay safe.
At the rate things are going, I think we'll be medically retired before that happens.
The office of Lieutenant Block. It's an LAPD police banner. This door leads to the detective's bullpen. It's an LAPD police banner.
Thought I might have accidentally clicked
I
through
don't
that.
have all day. Get on out of here and back on those streets.
I need to look around, sir. Free kittens to good home. 3 females. See Cynthia in Polygraph Basements. Multiple floors. DARE. Just say no. Fuck me. Kilroy was here.
All right, back to work. Enough of this tea party.
It's not cool to be stupid. Stay sober. Stay alive. Support your local humane society. Adopt a pet today. These boxes are disappearing automatically. I'm scared. Self-defense classes. Mondays, Friday evenings. Police Academy. Come join the fun. Does it involve shooting people?
What are you waiting for? An invitation? Get back to work.
I'll load this so we can leave the office quickly. For sale, UCDs. Warning, this angers pompous country western singers. And the RIAA. What else we got? AIDS. Learn the facts. If only we knew that years ago. Noise abatements. Learn the facts. Rock the votes. Make your voice heard. Relevance. Always relevance. Bank robbery, 20th of November 1990. United Central Bank, East 11th Branch, seeking any information. Is that the one down here? I've lost track.
Move it on out of here, Carrie. You've got your assignment.
How many lines of dialogue does he have? This is actually quite impressive. Mail fraud. Wanted under the alias of John Deere, Stanley Toils, Lumberjack, and Jack Hammer. Arrest warrants issued for Dusty Miller and Dick Death, hosts of TV show Straight Shots, the show with the shootiest in mind. Charges include 2 intense muzzle flash. Warning! These two are armed and planning a network takeover. Domestic abuse. It happens in the best of families. Seek help. Call your local social services department. Asking for help is the first step. Oh. That's one way to get us back on track, I guess. Jesus. Bake sale, 2nd floor, Tuesday to 5th. Come enjoy the goodies and support the friendly people of Records and Identification. Did you have these on your wall as well, Daryl?
The office of Lieutenant Block. Someday, you...
That'll be all, Carrie.
I just find it hard to believe that you got this one about domestic abuse right next to this one, which is clearly fictional.
Parker Center, circa 1955. Simulated wood grain finish. Simulated... The office...
I don't think we're getting anything else.
Lieutenant Donald Block, career...
Time's a wasting, Carrie.
Lieutenant Block doesn't like people touching his stuff. Knock it off. Lieutenant Block, best to keep your hands off Block's desk.
Don't touch block stuff or he'll knock off your block.
This might be California, Carrie, but I'm not into touchy-feely encounters. Knock that crap off.
Alright, Daryl again is speaking to me.
This might be
Lieutenant Block doesn't like people touching his stuff. Knock it off.
Is that a keyboard?
The office of...
That'll be all, Carrie.
Can I ask you any questions?
Lieutenant.
Carrie, you have your assignment. Go out and find yourself a killer.
Lieutenant.
Carrie, you have...
Alright, I don't think we're getting anything else out of this room, unfortunately.
Go on now, go. Find yourself a killer.
I'm surprised by how many lines he's actually got here. That's quite impressive. 1992 standards or 1993 standards, whenever this game came out. Oh, that banner.
Too bad about Hickman, Junior. Guess this hit you pretty hard, huh? Well, hell, don't let it. Damn scumbags out there. They're just goddamn lucky I'm a desk jockey. If I was on the street, I'd whip their collective disrespectful butts. You know, Junior, this case is gonna generate a lot of paperwork and a lot of calling. You're just goddamn lucky you got me as your partner in this one. Damn lucky.
Yeah, is this bloke's name Junior, or is that just a nickname and he's our partner? This here is clearly a real-life photo that was taken, scanned, down-resed, and they photoshopped this thing in here. Oh, God. That wouldn't look out of place in Limbo of the Lost, honestly. Ye gods. Who are you?
Hal Bottoms, homicide detective, currently assigned to your case.
Hal Bottoms. What about you?
It's Detective Philip Jerica, originally from Houston, Texas, and a damn fine cop.
Jerica. He's from Houston?
It's Detective Philip Jerica, originally from Houston, Texas, and a damn fine cop.
Just making notes.
Hal Bottoms.
Oh, we can ask him questions. I was really hoping we'd get something like this inside Block's office. We could ask him some questions, but we couldn't. We can ask, how's Bravado? Alright, let's just go through all of these one by one.
Hal, have you heard from the coroner's office?
Yeah, like you're their first priority, Junior. They're probably still in the kitchen. Besides that Nobles, he's the kind that likes you to come to him. Like we ain't got enough to do and go down to that garbage disposal.
Are you calling the morgue a garbage disposal? Jesus. Alright, we need to go to Sam to get our report.
Hal, the lieutenant was pretty direct about the paperwork on this case.
Hell, Junior, I already got our murder book set up. I might be afflicted with this damn diabetes, but I ain't lame. You just make sure you do your part. You're the one needing to write up the damn reports. I just gotta file them.
Hal, do you always have to be so obnoxious?
Oof.
Hell, Junior, I'm on my third wife. Been 25 years on the force, seen things no man should have to. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess you're right, Hal.
With that attitude, I can't imagine why you're not on your third wife by now. Jesus, dude. Are you interested in my writings that I took last night?
You thinking I'm gonna write your reports for you, Junior? You're damn lucky I don't write you up one side and down the other for just thinking about it.
What about the report that we got from the officer? Officer Woodbury.
You'll need to stand up and move to accomplish that. You'll need to stand up and move to accomplish that.
Alright, before I get up, what do we have around here? This is a very cluttered office.
What you see is what you get, Gary. The large windows are shaded by 20-year-old curtains. The boar's head was awarded to Senior Detective Addison Arcee for his fierce commitment to the force. Murder books, all filled with past cases. Case files, both open and solved. Case files, both open and solved. What you see? Case files. What you see? What you The status board indicates who's in court, the field, or off duty. The way time passes on this job, you need a calendar. This sign indicates you exit to the left. It's your ergonomic office chair. What you see? What you desks belonging to fellow homicide detectives.
No computers.
Desks. It's your very own desk.
That desk is triggering me like you wouldn't believe. Alright, what do we have?
Desk drawers.
Anything inside them?
These are 3.14 follow-up forms used to document your casework.
I'm not looking that up in the manual.
You take a 3.14 follow-up report form out of your desk drawer. Desk drawers. Desk.
Just on a pixel hunts for that, but I don't think that is anything.
It's the photo of you and Hickman at the lake, the time you caught the big one.
Are we talking coronavirus or a fish? I imagine we can take that back and show it to Catherine and Valerie.
The calendar on this blotter is so old, you don't remember the last time you changed it, huh, Carrie? Your desk is covered with snippets from past cases in daily life.
Okay, I've just recognized that as a phone.
Your department-issued telephone. Your desk is... This desk belongs to Detective Cynthia Joey, and yes, there are such things as female homicide detectives.
You don't need to say that, game, but okay, fine.
A memo from Lieutenant Block.
We better read that. What does the memo say? Also, why do these all look identical? Jesus.
The photograph taken of you and Hickman at the lake, the time you caught the big one.
Gunner 88326. Don't know if that means anything. I'm going to write that down very briefly. I think we got points for that, so that makes me wonder if perhaps this is a code. I assume the dude on the right is Hickman because that face kind of looks familiar to that dead body that we saw a few minutes ago. What else are we carrying? A 3.14 form? No, that's a memo. From Lieutenant Block. Subject, monthly qualification, combat. Time, place, Wednesday, Police Academy range. Okay, we're shooting some guns. Carey, you are scheduled for combat qualification this Wednesday. No excuse will be accepted for missing your qualifying appointment, as you are not eligible for any exemptions at this time. Your last month's scores were low. I suggest you make time in your schedule to get out to the range and brush up before your score really counts. Lieutenant Block. Are you telling me I need to sight my gun?
Alley crime scene log prepared by Officer Woodbury.
We got that last night. That's our notebook. Where is the form?
Departmental follow-up form 3.14.
Can I use that?
Standard weight.
Can I combine that with something perhaps?
You write up a 3.14 documenting the incidents relating to the alley.
Okay, I got points for that. Is there a way I can check my score? There is. It's in here. And I did read somewhere just prior to starting the game that this game doesn't actually tell you what the maximum score is, so this might call for a full playthrough on the very last video of the playlist. Just going through this, trying to maximize my score bars. Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows what the actual high score is.
Your desk is covered with Your desk, department issued, 3-tier. It's your very own homemade placeholder with your name on it. Don't move it. It's kind of cute there. Leave your blotter in place. It covers all the coffee stains. No need to straighten up your desk. It'll just get... No need to straighten up your desk. It'll just get messy again.
Sorry about all the excess clicking. Can I use my phone? I can. I don't have anyone to call at this time though. Look how old this phone is. Even in the 1993 standards, this is way too old. Jesus.
Your action is unwarranted. What you see is what you... Your desk is... No need to straighten up your desk.
Alright, I can walk around here. I go down here. I'll explore this side shortly. I'll also crank the speed up once I feel confident about what's going on. Can I take the fire extinguisher?
Safety first. Leave the fire extinguisher for emergencies.
Let me just save very quickly. F5 is not working. Jesus, what kind of game is this? Alright, I'm trying to exit.
Leave the sign.
Unlike Scum VM, I'm definitely pushing it as far left as is humanly possible, and nothing's happening.
It's Lieutenant Block's office door.
We're trapped in a homicide office with nowhere to go. Alright, well how about we give you the 3.14 form?
Here you go, Hal.
Sure, Junior.
Okay, what about the report from last night? I think it was this one here.
Alley crime.
Yep.
Hal, here's the Hickman crime scene log. It was prepared by Officer Woodbury from the 77th.
Hey, you're damn lucky you got me taking care of this book, Junior. Damn lucky.
It's your job, is it not? We don't need to hand that over.
You thinking I'm gonna write your reports?
Okay, I think we've given him everything that we can give him. He will have got the evidence from Julia Chester, perhaps. We don't need to give him that memo or the photo. And all of this stuff is irrelevant. Can I leave yet? Or do I actually have to speak to this dude who's been on the phone the entire time by the looks of it? I think I should be able to escape this place, but it's not letting me. Never mind. Why did that work? Okay, maybe it's working now because I've handed over the evidence. Alright. Can I talk to you?
The man is conducting a telephone interview. Don't bother him. Detective Jerica is busy on the telephone. Have a little respect. Whoa, he's one of the good guys. He's LAPD. Secure your weapon.
There are many people who would disagree with you.
The way detectives' workspaces. These are more detectives' workspaces. These are more detect.
Yeah, we're not getting anything here. Alright. We have successfully escaped the main homicide office. And we're in a maze.